Welcome to the YouTube Power Hour. Erika Vieira here, and this week I am interviewing fitness influencer Rebecca Louise. Now, Rebecca Louise is the embodiment of hard work, determination, and grit. In this interview, she reveals how she went from complete newbie, not knowing what she was doing, to creating a full-blown online empire with her YouTube channel. This is an incredible interview. Rebecca is so inspiring, and I truly enjoyed it. If you're new here, welcome. Make sure you subscribe. I have brand new interviews every single week for you, every Thursday. So subscribe so you don't miss a single interview, and comment below. Do you have a YouTube channel? Are you looking to grow your YouTube? What are you maybe struggling with when it comes to your YouTube channel? And what are your biggest takeaways from this interview with Rebecca? Enjoy. Mwah. Well, hello, Rebecca. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
Yes, I'm really excited to have you. You have so much going on, and I just can't wait to kind of dive into your journey as a fitness influencer and talk about all the amazing things that you're doing. But because this podcast is focused on YouTube, we'll start with that. But I do want to talk about all the amazing things that you have going on with your own personal brand. So why don't we get started first with you sharing with us your journey on YouTube? You know, what inspired you to get started, and kind of like the Cliff Notes version up until this point.
Yeah, so thanks so much for having me on. First of all, I'm a huge fan, and I'm just so excited to add some value to your audience. And YouTube has been such a blessing for me. It's been so exciting to be part of it, because I've always found growing up that, you know, I would go to castings for things, or I would try to get in like the cool gang at school, and I was never accepted because, you know, I didn't look right, I wasn't tall enough, didn't have the right vibe. But on YouTube, I could literally be myself and be accepted for me, and that was something that was really important. So I moved to America 8 years ago. I originally came to America to get my commercial pilot's license out of Long Beach Airport in California. And I came, I got my license, I did the whole thing, and then I realized actually being a pilot isn't exactly what I wanted to do. I loved it, but I didn't have a passion and purpose to do it forever. But I grew up watching Laguna Hills on MTV. Lauren Conrad, we are going to be friends. I'm going to be driving down PCH in a convertible, and we're going to be BBFs. And I just took that vision on. So I made it that I had to live in America. I got myself a visa, and I came over here. And I was I'm not a procrastinator, so I have to do things immediately. And when you first come to America as an immigrant and you're on your visa, it takes a couple of months to get your social security number through. And so I couldn't lease a car. So I wanted to rent a car so I could go out to auditions immediately. So I had this bright red Fiat car. It was terrible. I mean, driving that on the 405 or any road in America, it's like the tiniest thing. Like, you need a truck. Yeah. And I got to an audition that was for a YouTube channel. And the YouTube channel was workouts. They'd been filming for about 6 weeks, but they didn't like who their host was. It was a guy, and there was like 2 girls like squatting in the background. It wasn't quite the vibe they wanted. And I grew up playing fitness, doing fitness and sport my whole life. So going for this, and I always wanted to be a TV host. So I'm like, you know what? I think I could do this. Like, working out and talking at the same time, I've realized is my #1 talent in life. Yeah. I've got the skill set to be able to talk and work out at the same time. I can't sing, but there is something that I can do when I'm working out that I can breathe at the same time. I don't know how I've managed to do it, but that is my one talent in life. And I actually started working for that YouTube channel, and I got paid $40 an episode. So not much money at all. I didn't know about royalties. I didn't know about residual income. And over 18 months, that channel grew to about 600,000 subscribers.
Oh my gosh. $40 an episode? Did you negotiate higher, hopefully?
I didn't know. I was, honestly, I was so just excited to have a job in America. It could have been anything. And I'm so grateful, even though I didn't know about residual income. I'm not really credited on there. There's not like a link to my Instagram or anything. After 18 months, they actually decided that they didn't want to film anymore. And I was like, what? Like, we're onto something. This is amazing. But it wasn't, for them, it was like making a quick bit of money and just testing out YouTube.
How long ago was this?
I think this was probably about 7 years ago.
Okay.
So 7 years ago. And then they stopped filming. And for about a year, almost 18 months, I didn't post on YouTube because I was so scared to create my own channel because I had to compete with something I'd already built. And I really did help build that. I mean, I was doing all the promotions and whatever. It was my baby.
Oh my gosh.
And at that time, it was now 2.6 million subscribers.
Is the channel still on? Is it still up?
It's still going, but there's no new posts, and it's got about 3.2 million subscribers.
Oh my God.
So I had to have the decision that everybody kept asking me for more videos. And it was really scary because I was like, I don't know if I can do this. What if mine isn't so as successful? What if it's not to do with me? It was the people behind it that made the YouTube channel grow. But people just kept asking for videos, and I really missed it. I really missed making the videos and interacting with my audience. And so it took me about a year, 18 months to get the confidence up to create my own channel. And that was 4 or 5 years ago now that I did that. And now I'm so glad I did, because I have this amazing relationship with my audience. We put out new workouts every single week. Every single Monday, there's a new workout that comes out. And it's just been amazing to create that community where I'm in control of it this time. And now we've had an app that's come out of it, and merchandise and a tour and all these things. So, you know, when you feel like, oh, should I get started? Every single day that you don't start is a day away from being where you want to be. And so taking that leap of faith and not comparing myself to another channel that I was on, it wasn't always easy, but it was definitely worth it.
Yeah. So when was this? How many years ago did you start your own YouTube channel?
So my own YouTube channel was about 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay. Yeah.
And we're like 550,000, 560,000.
Yeah. So almost like you were working like 18 months on this other channel. And it's like, in a lot of ways, like even though it wasn't your own channel and that kind of sucks, now it's at like millions of subscribers or whatever, you were almost just kind of like practicing and gearing up for your own channel.
Yeah, and I'm really grateful because it gave me the vision of YouTube. I don't know if I would have ever I didn't know if I would have started a YouTube channel as early as I did. Now it's, you know, it's all out social media. And so I'm really grateful for the opportunity that I had to be on it. And, you know, there's no regrets. I wish I knew what I knew now back then, but, you know, you don't. You just, you only know things with experience. And so the experience that you have, you know, the more that you know. So I'm really grateful for the opportunity that I had to be experienced to YouTube.
Yeah. And so, okay, I'm going to pull up your channel so people can see it. So this is 5 years ago. Are these your first videos that you uploaded?
As you can see, these are the first ones, and they look very different to the ones that I have right now.
They're the ones you have right now.
Yeah, you know, now these are all like, you know, we've just finished a booty challenge. We just did a 30-day booty challenge. The last one, I'm dressed as a pirate. I actually kept that outfit, and I did 100 squat jumps. This video, 100 squat jumps in the pirate outfit, and it's pretty funny. It's hilarious. It's me jumping up and down. My dogs are in it. They're dressed up as well. But yeah, you can really see the development. This is the 30-day booty challenge that we're last day. And, you know, all the other videos that we've had before, 10-minute workouts, all ranging from yoga to Pilates to body weights to weights to kickboxing, cardio. I mean, the whole thing. And then we do a couple of motivation videos in there as well. Nutrition tips, really just getting people to have a healthy, active lifestyle.
Wow. Okay. So going back to your old videos, 5 years ago, you started uploading. Okay. So I was going to ask this, but it looks like here I was going to ask. So you knew right away you were going to do fitness, like fitness classes on your channel. That was your initial, you knew right away, right?
That was my thing. Yeah.
That was always going to be your thing. Okay. So when you started your channel 5 years ago, were you also doing other things? Were you doing your pilot's license? Were you like flying, or were you thinking this is it? This is going to be my job. This is what I'm going to do.
At the beginning, I wasn't making any money with YouTube.
Of course, yeah.
You don't. You've got to be doing it for years until you start to get some money. So I was doing loads of promotion work. I was your classic, you know, I was poker dealing. I was your promotions girl. I was your shop girl. I was like any job that it was random. Every single week was different, but I liked that because I need the flexibility, and also the type of visa that I was on really limited me to what I was able to do. So I couldn't just go and get a job, a full-time job. I had to do the work that my visa allowed me to do.
Yeah. Okay. So what was the turning point of your channel where you were just uploading and doing your thing, to where it was like an actual job for you in the sense that you were making an income, you were seeing some progress? When did that happen for you?
I think after about a year, I hired somebody to video the workouts for me, because at the beginning I had a $150 Sony camera, and it's so light. It's lighter than my iPhone. Now it's lighter than my iPhone, and I would set it up on a cheap, super cheap, like a tripod, and put it up, and I would just video myself. And the crazy thing is you can see, like, this is edited on an iMovie. It's the classic, font that comes up. This was just in a gym in my apartment building where I was. I'm wearing whatever workout clothes I have. Now people send me workout clothes every single week.
I'm sure.
I haven't got room in my house to put the workout clothes.
Yeah.
But I'm borrowing the mat. It's not even my own mat. Now I have Burned by Rebecca Louise mats for sale.
Yeah.
So it's crazy to see the transformation. And I just had a video camera set up. I think someone might even be filming this. Oh, yeah, you can even see the person.
Oh, you can see him filming it.
That was my boyfriend at the time filming my video. And he's not even on a tripod. He's holding it. Yeah. He's holding it. And we couldn't even know, because there's mirrors everywhere. Yeah. So you can't even, this is the only place that we had to film. And then we filmed a few things I remember at the beach, and the sound is so bad because we didn't have a mic. I don't know what's going on here. That's like a terrible shot. Yeah. So, it really has evolved over the time. And sometimes I would film my own stuff. And funny story, the Sony camera, I would get myself in shot. I would video it, check that my arms were in shot, move around, come back and press play and check it was in. About 6 months after using this camera, someone was like, that you can flip it round to be able to see you? And I was like, oh my goodness. That would have saved me like so much freaking time. And so I didn't know that, but you know what? That's part of the journey, and you're gonna pick up tips every single step along the way.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing too. It's like for so many people, like they're getting onto YouTube because they have an expertise in something. For yours, it was fitness. Other people, it's skincare or it's cooking or whatever it is. But like they don't necessarily have an expertise in like getting the perfect shot or filming or editing or all that stuff. So it's kind of like there's this huge learning curve of stuff that you got to figure out.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And then when I've got, I hired someone to do all the videos and the editing. And then I've actually got staff members now, a team that does it, but I've taught them how to do it. So now it's a learning process of getting someone who maybe never have used a video camera before. Okay, now it's me teaching them how to do it. And so it is, you're forever learning. We had a video that came out the other day, and, none of us noticed that it was slightly wonky, and by the time it's posted on YouTube, it's like, oh, damn, it's too late. You can't do in the edit. There's a few things that you can in YouTube, but like we all saw the video, I missed it. I'd even watched the video 3 times. So things happen all the time where you're like, God, I could have done this, I could have done that. But at the end of the day, it's if you're too perfectionist about anything or everything, you're never going to get anything done.
Yeah, and like for you, uploading a video every single day for a 30-day squat challenge, like you can't go back. You can't like, okay, let me fix it. Like you have to constantly be moving forward.
It's like, okay, no worries. What did we learn from this? Let's make sure that we check that is, it's not wonky next time, and go again. So it's live and learn.
So then back to kind of my original question, what was that turning point of your channel where it did become something that was generating income and, it was more substantial?
That was when I hired an actual videographer and started to produce higher quality videos because I had a mic. I had, it was probably a year into it. So as you can see, the boyfriend at the time is filming that. And then it was like, okay, now I need to hire someone because I want to be able to have the same level of videos. This is all when I had a videographer. I had somebody helping me with the graphics. And this is really when it started to pick up and I was getting brand deals.
Okay.
This is actually videoed by somebody who is a professional videographer and edited by them too. And I've got a mic on and, there's a nice little intro in there. As you can see, it looks a little bit different. It's not the classic iMovie stuff. The quality's better. I've got a good workout outfit on. I'm not just in a t-shirt and a pair of shorts. And I've got a nice location as well.
Yeah, what is that location? It's pretty nice.
Yes, yeah, friends. I utilized everybody that I knew. So I always feel like, trade, if there's something that you're good at, maybe it's one of the skills you're putting on YouTube. Maybe you're a personal trainer, or maybe you're good at makeup. Find somebody who has a location that you could use for trade. They'll be like, hey, I'll do your makeup for you, X, Y, and Z, if I'm allowed to just film a couple of times, a month in your house. And that's really, I didn't pay for that location. They were friends of mine that I was working together on another project, and they allowed me to use that home. So
that's their house? That's like a hotel.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And so then after we started using that location, I actually went off and worked with loads of hotels around the world and would trade my videos for them. So we filmed in Ecuador, in Bali, in Madrid, the Maldives, all over. So we'd reach out to hotels and say, hey, we would put on this YouTube video for you, film it at your location, talk about you in the introduction. And in return, we want like X amount of nights free with food and X, Y, Z. So, that's really worked out well because we were able to give a different background to the videos, which is more interesting to the viewer. We're going to South Africa next year because we're going to be filming some videos in front of a beautiful animal park and with all tigers and lions and stuff. So, if you see the lower abs workout there, that was actually shot in Bali. So we worked at the hotel in Bali there. The best exercises for lower abs, that was shot in Cabo. So there you go. That's our hotel in Bali.
Oh my gosh. That's one of the questions that I had for you to ask you is like, how do you get all these locations? Because I noticed that in looking at your videos, I'm like, it's like these incredible locations.
Yeah, so what we would do is we would create like a deck that we would send out to hotels. And all hotels right now are getting inundated with influencers and people that want to collaborate. So it really is just a numbers game. Okay. So it's having a really nice deck that says, these are my social numbers. This is my Instagram, my Facebook, my YouTube. This is my story. And then also, what is it that we would offer them? So instead of just being going, do you want to collaborate? It's like, well, there's going to be loads of backwards and forwards and emails. And sometimes people just want to see a hotel is like, well, what are you going to offer? So if you tell them in day one, what are you going to offer? Then they're like, that's going to be a yes or a no. So we would say, like, we will do X amount of YouTube videos for you, social media posts, Facebook, and this is what we want in return. And we would just send that out. And then the people who are receiving it, they know straight away if they want to work with you or not, because they know what they're getting and they know what they've got to give you.
I agree, because I get pitches and things all the time, and it's like, the pitcher sounds like, oh, we want to collaborate. How about we get on a call? And I'm like, I don't have time for that. Like, I just don't have time for that. Just tell me what you want. Like, tell me what you want. Like, there's a chance I might want to work with you because I am, I like to collaborate. I am looking to do different things, but like, I don't have time to sit there for the back and forth, get on a call for someone, and at the end of all this time, I'm realizing maybe this is not a good fit, but that's too much time for me to waste at this moment. Like, I don't have time for that, and I always say that to people. If you're going to pitch someone something, tell them right away, because people are really busy. They don't want to waste time, and just tell them what's in it for them immediately.
Yeah, you don't want to waste someone's time. It's like we sent out a deck to some brands, and this brand was like, yeah, we're interested. We're like, okay, great, because we were very transparent about what we wanted. And they were like, oh, yeah, but we don't have any budget. Well, like, yeah, but you saw what the thing was, and now, like, we're having this random conversation that is wasting everybody's time because we're not going to just take stuff like this wasn't the part of it. So if you are brand new, or even if you're on YouTube, whatever, be super transparent and honest about what you're willing to do. And maybe you want to over deliver. Maybe you're like, hey, I'm going to work so hard so that I can stay at this hotel, but then don't take stuff back. And you have to be super honest and really follow through, because I've worked with lots of hotels where influencers have said they're going to do something and then they end up not doing it. And so that's such a shame when that happens. So I'll often even create a contract so that they feel more confident about me coming to their hotel.
Yeah, because then some of these companies and brands and hotels have gotten burned, and now they're like, no more influencers, we're done.
Absolutely. So you're like, hey, I have a contract. These are my references I've worked with before, and just be super transparent and open and honest. And I feel like even our deck is almost like a contract, because it's like, this is what we're going to do for you. This is what we're going to have in return, and let's agree to that.
Yeah. And so how big were you like on, I know you have an Instagram as well. So like what was your reach when you started to get these opportunities to film in hotels?
It was probably 2 years after I started my own channel. So I think I'm coming up to 5 years on my own channel. So 3 years ago, started to reach out to hotels and we did some Maldives, we did Ecuador. I think we've probably done about maybe 7 or 8 different countries. And so it was about 3 years ago. So 2 years after I built up the channel, and I think the channel must have been about 200,000, maybe close to 200,000. And then we really started to see people being interested in collaborating with us.
So before that, before you were at that size, it sounded like you were just kind of like hustling in your area and figure out who's got a great home, or like, seeing different opportunities that way.
Yeah, it was just hustling and utilizing what I knew at the time. And there was a couple of brand deals that I did because I was also part of an MCN.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like at the beginning, when you're maybe learning some more stuff about YouTube, instead of hiring someone to teach you about YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
there's so much stuff online. I was with an MCN, which is a multi-channel network, which a lot of YouTubers can be attached with. They'll take like 20 or whatever % of your revenue.
Mm-hmm.
If you get a good one, they'll actually have weekly calls with you and talk to you about your thumbnails and your strategy and all that stuff. And I was with one for about 2, maybe 3 years. I haven't been with one with a couple of years just because, I've kind of got what I needed to out of the knowledge from that. But it's not to say that I would never go back to another one, because there is definitely pros and cons to having an MCN.
Definitely. So at what point were you doing this as your full-time job and income?
I would say about 4 years ago, I was doing like full-time Rebecca Louise, making YouTube videos. I had a subscription model as well at the time. So my app started off as a desktop version.
Okay.
And I started off my membership like 4 years ago. And at the time it was just the YouTube videos in a calendar format that was like $9.99. And now it's an app that's even cheaper, that has daily workouts that are exclusive to the app, that's meal plans and gamification and all that fun stuff. But I definitely feel like the subscription model right at the beginning, but utilizing your content to putting it into a program that you can sell each month. I'm a really massive fan of subscription models, because if you're already making content and you're already an expert in your area, it's something that you can easily embed in to generate more revenue.
So were you using your videos that you already did onto YouTube and now just kind of repurposing them into this subscription kind of like easy to follow model?
Yeah, so it was like, there's have one new workout that comes out on YouTube. But what I would do is I would resurface all of the videos I had on YouTube and just put them into a calendar, so it was something that people could follow.
Yeah.
Now it's actually exclusive workouts because I have more time to film and we have a better editing and we just have a better system. But at the beginning, I was just using the content that I had to be able to create a program that somebody could follow each month.
And how was that received by your audience? Like, how many people, can you share like how many people signed up when you first started? Were you wondering, is this going to work or not? Like, what was that process?
Yeah, I think when I first, it started off, 50 people and then 100 people. Right now we've got like over 8,500 subscribers on the app. So it's really grown and it's evolved. The app came out last year officially in February, but the first time it came out, it was terrible. We worked with the wrong developers, and then we relaunched it in October. Like, it's been a year since it's been relaunched. And then before that, it was just on desktop. And I actually had a subscription on desktop first, and then decided to cancel that and just put all of the footage on YouTube to grow the YouTube channel up. And then about a year after that, I went back to a subscription model and started to add in new content, like exclusive content that was just available for people who were part of the subscription. Yeah, knowledgeable in something, it's like, how do you make a PDF? How do you make some sort of journal thing that somebody can follow, that you're maybe going to do live webinar calls with them, live Facebook stuff that's exclusive to that group. Maybe there is a private Facebook group. We have a private Facebook group for all of the Burn members. And I do live video calls in there. So it's about how can you utilize your knowledge and give it in a way to your audience that they're going to utilize.
Yeah. Why did you decide to stop with the desktop and go back into YouTube, like forget about that? And then obviously later on you went back to the app, but why did you make that decision at the time?
So after the other channel that I was on, that ended, I was so scared about making a new YouTube channel that I decided that I would just make a subscription model and I would close all of the content. So nobody can see any of the content. And then somebody said to me, Rebecca, you need to get your content out there. And I was like, yeah, but like all of this content that I'm creating, because I probably was making a couple of $1,000s a month. And at the time, that was like a lot of money that I was able to make by myself. And they were like, you need to, instead of having all this closed content and people paying each month to use it, you need to grow your own following again. And so I had to make the decision then that I was going to stop that subscription model and come back to it later, but use all of those videos to grow a YouTube channel.
Oh, okay. So then it sounds as if then this membership that didn't happen with your YouTube channel. This was before your YouTube.
Yeah, so it was because I was so scared. I was like, well, YouTube's going to take me ages to make any money.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking about the long-term picture. I was thinking about what is the money that I need right now. All these people have all these videos free of me anyway on YouTube. I'm just going to make my own ones. But then I wasn't in control of that other channel.
Yeah.
And it was about how is there a bigger vision for my brand. And now I'm so glad because now I've got this YouTube channel that's got 560,000 and I still have a subscription model as well. I didn't just think about having one. I didn't jeopardize one for the other.
Yeah. So, but when you uploaded all your first videos on YouTube, those are actually your videos that you had originally had in your subscription model.
Yep. Originally I had them in the subscription model and then I just closed that down and I made it available for everybody.
So you closed it down and you stopped getting that income.
Yeah.
So then, yeah. So, I mean, I'm sure at the time, if you're just doing odd jobs here and there, that is a good amount to give away, not give away, to kind of stop.
Yeah, it was. But I knew the bigger picture.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I was part of a network marketing company as well that I built a really strong team with. So I had money financially there to be able to support me. Okay. And so I was like, you know what? Now is the time to do this because otherwise I'll never do it because I'm going to keep building this subscription. I'm going to keep getting used to this type of money. And then what is my goal? I really wanted to actually build the channel bigger than the channel before.
Yeah.
That was my, ego inside and music, like, screw you, I'm going to like make it bigger. And I'm glad I did because that is what's attracted even more members to my subscription model now and grown our community even bigger.
Wow. So were there any videos, was there a point in your channel that there was like a tipping point or a turning point with where it just started to kind of take off and just grow, or has it been pretty consistent the whole way?
To be honest, it's been pretty consistent the whole way. YouTube is forever changing algorithms. There's like so many things. Like 1 month it's up, 1 month it's down. But I've always thought about looking at it long term and what does that look like. So when there is a month or a year that's maybe gone down a little bit, like that's okay because like let's figure out what it is the audience need. Let's figure out what YouTube's doing and just figure it out so that we can make it bigger and better. And the goal is to get the community to 1 million, and to really surpass what the other channel did. Yeah,
that's amazing. Okay, so at this point, you have your app that's doing really well. You said you had like what, 6,500, 8,500 numbers for me. I always forget.
Yeah, 8,500 subscribers.
8,500 subscribers, which is absolutely amazing. So, would you say your main platform is YouTube? That's where most of your traffic comes from?
Yeah, most of the stuff is YouTube. It really is. And then we drive them into Facebook and Instagram. Some people come through Instagram, obviously all the platforms go, but I really love YouTube and I have always put a lot of effort into the YouTube channel.
Yeah. Like how long were you really focusing on YouTube before you kind of branch into some of the other platforms?
Oh my goodness. I was still posting on Instagram, but my posts were awful and they weren't aesthetically nice. I didn't have presets, I didn't know how to edit a photo.
Yeah.
So I would say, almost 2 years of being on YouTube. And then my Instagram really started to take off because I started to learn about editing photos and what was working and what wasn't working. We've had a constant Facebook posts and content going out, for years. But I really feel like it's been me then spending a little bit of time on Instagram and realizing what was needed on there and how I could take sections of my content from YouTube and post it onto Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah, because a lot of people are always, people have different views on this, but a lot of people tell people at the beginning, pick a few different platforms and you want to put your eggs into different baskets. But I mean, I've always been on the belief that when you're first starting, you should really focus, especially if it's YouTube, really focus on that, because there's just so much that goes into it that it's you only have so much time. And if you want to grow an audience, you got to really be focused on that on YouTube, on that one platform.
Yeah, absolutely. Unless you're repurposing the content to put it on Facebook and Instagram too. We'll do a little bit of a 1 minute teaser section from the video that's coming out to put on there. But it's a lot.
But that takes time too. That takes a whole separate edit.
Yeah, that takes a whole separate edit. And so it's focusing on one thing at a time. Maybe on Instagram it's not that you post every day, it's once every 2 days. You just have a schedule that fits with you. But obviously Instagram and YouTube, they do kind of work together, and it's how you can funnel everybody into one system. But yeah, I really focused on YouTube for the first, year, 2 years before I even got into Instagram. But things are different now.
Yeah.
It was definitely very heavy on YouTube at the beginning.
So have you because you have a business where you have your app, would you say your app is your main source of income?
Yeah, right now the app is the main source of income. My network marketing company is pretty close behind that.
Okay.
So I utilize both of those, and we help, a lot of people that might come in from the app, then get started on a nutrition plan, then they decide that they want to make a little bit of extra money helping other people get healthy, and then I teach them how to do that as well. So it's a really beautiful system where I don't just help people, lose weight, feel better, get more energy, and, work out and nutrition, but I can also help you if you want to change in career, or if you want to have some extra money to take your kids to Disneyland, or, there's something else. I'm able to actually give that. Whereas, a lot of times if you're a fitness influencer or whatever, you're selling products. Well, your clients are just constantly buying stuff from you. They're not actually making any money. So you're up money, and then they're down money every month. So how can I teach somebody how they can also be up money with me, and we can all rise together?
Got it. So you've got your network marketing company. So you obviously have people there that are purchasing from you, but then they're also selling and they're generating an income and that whole thing. And then you've got your app, and then obviously you have YouTube, which is, you have a little bit of AdSense there. Do you work with sponsors as well, or affiliates or anything like that?
Yeah, we do a couple of sponsors. We've done Nike this year. We're about to work with Amazon. We have done Clinique. We've done quite a few a big brands. I was the face of a big fitness brand called Lecoq Sportif over in South Korea. So I was the face of their brand for 2 years. But, I've always been very picky with who we work with, even though that it gets exciting when you first start YouTube and people are sending you free stuff and review this. I held off. Honestly, I was I'm only going to work with brands that I'm really excited about and who are actually going to pay me what I want to be paid. And sometimes it was turning down money because I was I don't want to do this because I want to hold out and get a bigger job. I don't want to just get the free stuff and then post that I've got free stuff on Instagram, because then no one's going to pay me to do anything, because I'm just going to be a billboard for other people's stuff. I want to be Rebecca Louise's brand, where you're getting, my app and my nutrition plan. I'm not just selling somebody else's stuff.
Yeah, that's so smart. Gosh, you do a lot, which is absolutely amazing. I mean, it just shows the power of having a personal brand and having a following somewhere. Like for you, it's YouTube. And so I because you have a lot going on. You've got your podcast. We didn't even talk about your podcast. So you have a podcast as well, which you started about a year ago.
Yeah, right? So I have a podcast because on YouTube, and I've been doing fitness for 7 years, it's this clean cut pretty British girl who doesn't swear, who is very PC and is very appropriate. Whereas like the behind the scenes Rebecca Louise is like a little bit different. And I wanted to have a podcast where I could talk real, I could say what was on my mind, I could have my own opinions, and it was almost like therapy for me, to be honest. And so the podcast is called It Takes Grit, and it talks about the grit that you need to get results in all areas of your life. And it's been an amazing experience to have incredible speakers on this year and just really, I don't know, just feel like a weight's been lifted off my shoulder. And I feel like that's what's really cool about podcasts is it's just a nice little chat with one other person, and then you don't even realize that there could be millions of people listening.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so you got the podcast. And so what is, okay, I want to talk about like, you can't do all this. Well, no, there's another question. Okay, let me go back because I have a lot of questions, which is great because you have so much going on. So back to your app and all that. Do you actively try and build an email list and sell them through that? Or is it mainly just driving traffic from your YouTube and directly into your app?
Yeah, so we have on the website, Rebecca-Louise.com, we have, as soon as you go onto that page, the first page is an opt-in to get a free level up guide. So they'll put in their email address and their name, and we'll send them a couple of emails, one that will talk about, they'll get their free level up guide that has exclusive workouts and nutrition plans and all fun stuff. And then we'll talk about the app in there as well and what they can get from that. So it really is... collecting emails has been huge, and especially giving away something free for a reason for people to actually sign up into your newsletter, to be part of your community. And then we'll give them the level up guide, and then we'll talk about the rest of the company, rest of the brand, what's available for them, you know, what the free content is, or if they do want the full Monty, they want to be part of Burn, like how they can get that access to.
So are you even talking about your app in your videos, or is it really about promoting your freebie to get them on your list, and then that's where you talk about the app?
You know what? We talk about both. It just depends like what kind of comes naturally. Sometimes I'm like, guys, you got to get the rest of this workout. It's available in the app. You know, you're going to get the first 10 minutes here, but the rest of it's going to be available in the app. You know, we just released the new level up guide. So I'm going to be like, hey, get this new level up guide. It's going to be amazing. So it really just varies to see. I'm not like a robot. I don't say the same thing every single time. It's like, what's feeling natural? What am I excited about that day? And that's what I'm going to share.
Okay, great. So then you'll link both the app and the freebie, and it's just like whatever people feel like they want to do. Got it. Okay. And so you are doing a lot of things, and there's no way you can do all this yourself. So I'm assuming you have a team of people.
I do.
So I would love to know, you know, for people listening and they're thinking, gosh, that sounds amazing, but they're doing everything themselves. So I'm a big believer in having a team. You can't do it all yourself. You cannot scale. You cannot be a serious business person without having a team. I'm a true believer in that. I've learned more and more the last year or so as I've been building my business how imperative it is to have a great team. So I'd love to know from you, when did you start building a team? And you kind of talked about it. You first got that videographer back in the day. But, you know, when did you build your team? How did you build a team? And kind of how big your team is now and what that consists of.
Yeah, so anyone who says, oh, I'm just super organized, I can do it all, like, it's not true, right? You have to have a team and an army of people behind you. So I started off with people that would work part-time remotely from me. Maybe they just wanted an internship, and I was able to teach them my skills to them. So everything I've done in my business, I'm not an expert at it, but I know how to do a bit of everything. I know how to do everything, how to run it. So my job has been to teach the new person who's interested. So I've found people on Craigslist, I've found people on internship sites, you know, who will just come in and want to be an intern for a couple of months and get some experience. And then maybe that person ends up becoming part of your team. When I get new people in, the first month, it's typically just an internship. If you don't have any skills, then I'm not going to pay you straight away because I'm having to spend my time teaching you. So I'm going to have you here with a month. And most of the time, you know, 3 times out of 5, they don't even stick around. So because maybe it's not the right fit for them, it's not the right fit for me, they don't have the same standard, they don't work as hard as I do. And so that first month is us just feeling each other out and seeing if you can pick up these skills. So even with the camera stuff, I've learned how to shoot in manual. I know how to set up a camera. I know the video. I know how to do all the sound. So I'm teaching my person who doesn't know anything about that how to do it. And so the moment, if you're starting out, it's like you have to learn all of the skills first so that you can then bring in an intern and teach them. And then as you start to make more money, then you can start to pay that person. And then there might come to a point where you're like, you know what, I want to pay for someone who just knows about social media and they're already an expert in it and I don't have to teach them. But that takes a good couple of years, depending on how quickly your business grows. So right now I have 2 full-time girls in my office, and I have another girl who's here for 6 months from overseas who's part of an internship program. And then I have an editor as well who's overseas who does all of the edits for the videos and all of that. I have another girl that works remotely, part-time, doing customer service. And then I have some other PR teams and other people like here and there, maybe some YouTube people that are helping me. It's kind of gone in and out. Like sometimes I'll hire a brand manager, sometimes I've hired a PR team, sometimes I've hired Facebook. And so, it just depends like what's working and what we need help with in that time. And that's where we're at right now. But at the beginning, it was like, right, let's find someone who wants to get a bit of experience in social media or wants to get some experience learning how to use a camera and doing that. Or like I said at the beginning, trade something that you're good at that you can work with somebody else on. But you have to delegate. You can't only go so far by yourself. There is no way that you can put out all of this content and keep everything running and your customers happy. Especially if you have a paying service, you need one person who's just on customer service.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Customer service is huge.
Huge.
Yeah. And it's something like you probably don't have time to deal with yourself, because you're busy creating content. So what does your, so you have a decent sized team, but you're doing a lot of things. You got your podcast. How often do you upload onto your YouTube?
YouTube, we are doing, well, right now we're doing the challenge. So the challenge is just finished. We typically will do one video, one workout on a Monday, and we'll do like a life hack, food, nutrition tip on a Wednesday. We were posting all of our podcasts on the main YouTube channel, but what we're doing now is we're posting them on another YouTube channel. It's a Rebecca Louise vlog channel, and so they can access all the podcasts there. Because what was happening was we were posting the podcast on the workout channel and it was actually putting off some of the original subscribers, so we were losing subscribers because they didn't like this new content. So you know what, that's just something you have to be careful with if you want to add in something new to your channel that your audience isn't used to. That could be, you could lose subscribers from that. So that's what we found. So instead of just like not doing it, because I love having video, we started to put it onto a separate YouTube channel.
Got it. So you've got, sounds like it's about 3 to 4 videos a week then on YouTube?
Yeah, about 3 to 4 videos a week, yeah.
Okay. So you're doing that and then you're recording the podcast and then you're recording also videos exclusive for the app?
Yes. So when we're setting up the workouts, the first 10 minutes of that workout will go on YouTube. The rest, the full 28 minute with the warm up and the cool down will go on the app. So we film 4 to 5 new videos a month, just depending on how many Mondays there are in the month, because we release a new video on a Monday. I also have 2 other girls that do some of the videos in the app. They just have their own exclusive calendar. Exclusive video library, and it's just like a bonus to get other trainers in there, and we'll just kind of feature those 2 girls as well. So just give people something a little bit different. They're more based on, they love the cardio stuff, and another girl has like more specific, so just giving the customer value. So we have those girls film as well. So yeah, we seem to be filming all the time. We're doing another challenge coming up in January, because they absolutely love this 100 rep booty challenge. So we're going to be doing another one. And we really just listen to our audience, and they're pretty vocal. They'll tell us what they want.
Yeah. Especially since you've spent some time building up an audience. I mean, you have almost 600,000 subscribers. I mean, that's a lot of people to tell you what they want.
Yeah, they do.
And so it says you're filming 4 or 5 new videos a month. That's just generally speaking, right? That's like for all your content?
Yeah, that's just the workout. So 4 or 5 new 28-minute workouts a month.
Okay, which you piece together, you piece apart and put some of that on YouTube, the rest on your app. So then, what are the rest of the videos? And if you're uploading 3 or 4 videos a week on your channel, what are the rest of the videos?
The podcast. So we'll either
Mm-hmm.
have it each week. It's either an interview, and then the next week it's just me. It's a solo podcast.
Okay.
So we video all of those, and we have those edited as well. Yeah, you might be able to see some of them here. It says it takes awareness, making the choice to do it anyway. They were what we were putting on this channel. Now we've got it on another channel, just to make this one just workouts, fitness, nutrition. And then if they get if they do want to listen to the podcast, they just head on over to the podcast YouTube channel. But yeah, that, and then you've got a couple of their just food, nutrition tips, and the hacks, what the fitness mistakes that I wish that I didn't make, what the best food is for you, cardio or strength training better, typically a question that the audience has. It's going to help them with their progress. That's what we're making for them.
Got it. Okay, so what does your schedule look like? Because even though you have a bunch of people helping you, you're still doing a lot of stuff. So I'd love to know kind of what a normal, probably like week would be of yours. Like, what is your schedule? Is it like, okay, Mondays I'm doing this, Tuesdays, or is every week just like, blah?
To be honest, every week is just like that. I try not to schedule the same thing on the day. So this week I've had a podcast every single day. I've been on a podcast every single day this week so far, but I'll make sure that I won't schedule 2 podcasts on one day, because I want to give all of my energy to that one thing. I won't double up on the filming. We're Wednesday right now. We're Wednesday. And so I've got a podcast this one, and then I had one yesterday, and then Monday I did some filming. And so it's like I just try and mix it up so that I'm not always talking to camera. I'm doing it maybe for an hour or 2, maybe 2.5 hours a day, because if I'm doing it all day, I'm just not the best version that I'm going to give all my energy. And so I'll mix it up, that I'll have, that today I've got a meeting with a couple of brands. I've got a couple of 3-way calls with some of my team members. We have people come in the office, and I'm having them on my podcast. We might be going out of the office because we've got to go and see a venue for some event that we're doing. I might be going, last week I was in Phoenix, Arizona, talking at an event. I'm going to Canada next week to speak at another event. So I'm often, I travel a lot. I was just in the Alps because I was doing some climbing. I'm in training right now to summit Mount Everest in May 2020. So I'm going to be summiting the top of the world, to the highest peak. And so right now in my schedule, I've got to really make sure that I'm getting my training in, because, I want to be fit as I can, to be able to do that climb and to be able to get to the top. So that's definitely one thing that's in my schedule. But I do a lot of travel. I mean, I think this year I've already probably done like 8 countries. So there's a lot of travel in my schedule too.
But you're doing some of the filming while you're traveling in those other locations, right?
Some of it was, I hosted a retreat in Bali a couple of weeks ago. I went to Monaco earlier this year. I was doing some other travel, for some things for work, something for speaking. So yeah, honestly, my diary every week, I have to make sure that, someone's messaging me to say like, where am I supposed to be next? I've got Google Calendar. And I don't even know how I survived without that, because that has really kept me focused and on track. But yeah, my team are great, and they're like, Rebecca, you got this podcast up next. You need to go set this up. And so, it's really about having that team behind you to keep myself organized.
That was my next question. So do you have someone who just is like in charge of managing your schedule and figuring out your schedule and all that?
Yeah, so the funny thing is that, I always used to write down my schedule in a diary and like have everything written down. And I'm not even joking, up until a couple of weeks ago, I discovered Google Calendar. Yeah. And I knew Google Calendar because everyone would send me an invite. I could see it, and what I would do is I would just write it down. But what was happening is we were getting so booked up. My team kept saying, they would text me and say, are you available here for this podcast? And I'd be like, this is ridiculous. All that I'm doing is getting asked questions of when I'm available. Why don't we just have a shared calendar? Mm-hmm. And then also my network marketing team can see me too when I'm available, so that if they need me to be on a call with one of their new members, they know when I'm available. So honestly, Google Calendar has been like the biggest game changer of my life. And so, yeah, my team will schedule everything in for me. I'll just look in and be like, I'll get a notification to say like, oh, you've been scheduled on this meeting, but I make sure that I schedule all of my personal things in there, and whatever hits the calendar first is what goes. So I schedule my workouts in there. I schedule, my fun time, my personal appointments, like everything, so that they know not to schedule it at that time.
Wow. Gosh, you're doing a lot of things. I think it's super inspiring. I know like a lot of people probably listening and watching are like, wow, like it's like, but you're doing it. It's not like, yes, you have a team, but you're doing, it takes it from the top, a vision and ideas and all the ideas. So
I'm running around all day. There's not like a second like where I'm like not on a call, I'm not talking to someone, I'm not doing something, There's stuff that only I can do. I mean, I'm the one who has to be in front of the camera, so that's the stuff I have to do. I'm the one who has to make some decisions. I have to go through and, check emails, check the newsletter that's going out. I check all of the pictures. I'm very particular with how things are edited and how thumbnails look. So even though I have a team that does it, I am overlooking everything. I will pick up on something if it hasn't been picked up on already. So yeah, I'm very hands-on.
And I don't know how much you want to get into this, but I think it's inspiring for people to see just from a monetary standpoint. Are you able to say kind of overall, like from your brand, like what you bring in a month or a year?
Yeah, I mean, just to give you some perspective. So 6 or 5 years ago, I made $27,000 in my whole year. In my whole year. And there has been times this year when I've done that in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So it really did jump. 3 years ago, for 5 years ago was then maybe 100K. Then it went to 250, another 250. Last year was 440. This year is probably set to do 650. So it's amazing what you can do when you're staying consistent. But I made only 6 years ago. 6 years ago is not that long to go from $27,000 in a whole 365 days to then being able to make that in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty incredible and it's pretty inspiring. I mean, the thing is, it takes somebody with a vision and someone with just like focus. I feel like you're really focused on yourself, not yourself in bad, but like what you want to do. Like you want to do podcasts, you're going to do podcasts. You're going to do this app, you're going to do this app. Like, was there ever anything that like any setback that happened for you where you're like, I don't know if I can do this?
Loads. There's loads, but it wasn't a thing of can I do this or not. It was like, how can I fix this? What's the solution right now to make this better so that I can? When my first app came out, it was rubbish. It was absolutely useless. It was awful. I was embarrassed. There have been staff members that have quit without giving me 30 days notice. There have been, brands that I was going to work with, and then it didn't. It fell through. Or this, it's all the time. It's every day. There's always something every single day. Today there was a bit of a wonky video. Nobody saw that. That's a little bit irritating. It's frustrating, and it happens all the time. But there wasn't ever a plan B. It wasn't like, oh well, I'm going to see how this goes, and if it gets a bit tough, I'm going to give up. Like, that wasn't ever my mindset. My vision was always, right, how do I get to where I want to be? How do I create this community and help as many people as I want to help? I'm not just going to stop because something out of my control decided not to work. That was never the vision. There isn't a plan B. And I think so many people say, well, I'm going to try this for a month and see how I go. No, you have to try it until. And until when? You're like, until you've made it. Or until when you feel like you've got some momentum. So I've never went into it going like, I'm just going to do this for a little bit and see how it goes. It's always casting that vision and casting a vision for your team as well. To be like, hey, this is where we're going. Do you want to be part of it? I mean, my team members are coming on this trip for free to South Africa next year. And they're going on a tour. It's like, and then we're going to go to Tuscany on another retreat the year after. Like, I want people around me who are excited about what we're doing. And if I'm not excited, or if I'm not creating anything that's exciting, how am I going to get people to spend their time, their days being part of this? I wouldn't. Oh, I don't even know if this is going to work. And blah, blah. You're never going to get people enrolled in your vision. Like, this is going to be freaking epic. Like, I don't even, if my staff members, like, don't decide to come with me next year, like, that's their loss, right? I'm going on these places. I'm climbing Mount Everest. We're going to South Africa. We got this book tour, this book coming out. It's like, you want to create excitement for people to be part of and cast that vision. And the right people are going to come along. But you have to set the culture first, and you have to have that positive attitude.
Yeah, I mean that vision is so important. So how do you enroll like your teammates into your vision? I mean, do you talk to them about it? Like, how is it that you do that?
Oh, I'm so transparent with them. Like, I'm like, okay, well, I'm thinking about having this YouTube person come in to talk about some growth. Right? You're getting on the call. I'm talking about this new, Facebook system. I'm educating them, and they're enrolled in the vision. If we do this, we're doing this tour bus next year when we're actually going to be going around the USA on a tour bus, like a 12-bedroom tour bus. I'm like, you're going to be coming on that with me. I'm going to be summiting Mount Everest. We then got this book come out. This is what the vision for the book is going to be. You're part of that story. You're part of the journey. One of the girls in the office took the picture for the front cover of the book. I mean, she's not a photographer. I taught her how to use the camera. She clicked the button, and now she is the person who had to sign the paperwork to say, I'm the person who took that photo. She's part of it.
Yeah.
I didn't outsource it out. It was like, yeah, I want you to be the person who took the photo.
Are there things that you do to help you in regards to creating this vision? Like, is it just something that for you, you're like, I know it in the bottom of my heart, like I'm there? Or I know a lot of people do, I don't know, they have like rituals or meditation or visualization. Is there anything that you do on that to kind of keep you focused on that vision, even coming up with it in the first place?
I feel like surrounding yourself with people that are going to elevate you. So this year I've joined masterminds. I've really got out of my shell. I used to just build my business, honestly, from the inside of my home with my team. And I never went to events. I never really had other friends. Like, I never collaborated on YouTube. And just being around other people, I don't think that it's necessary that somebody not it's like someone directly gave me the idea, but it got my brain thinking because I was in a different space to think. I was able to be more creative because I wasn't just limited to what my own brain was thinking at the time, because it was probably a bit closed off. So just being around people and having conversations, I feel like is the best way to elevate you to set some new goals.
I so agree. Like, it's like, I do the same thing for myself. It's like going to events, like investing in yourself, investing in programs, masterminds. A lot of it is, yes, you're gonna learn things, but you're also gonna be around other people who have those visions, who either have what you want in regards to like they're like 2 steps or 3 steps ahead of you, or they're going for it like you are. Like, surrounding yourself by those people, it is so important. Like, even just myself, like I was just at a conference that I'm a part of, like I have a mentor there, all these things. And it's like, I came away from it, yes, meeting people, but I had like a clearer vision on like what I'm doing. And it wasn't that somebody directly told me you should be doing this, but just like you being around these people, talking to them, seeing what they're doing, and then getting ideas and then thinking about it and focusing and spending those few days focusing on your vision and what you're doing. Like, all that accumulates to you being able to go out and actually do it in the future.
Yeah, it's your energy. You creating energy with other people. Therefore, you're fired up. You've got adrenaline in you. And you're like, oh my God, I can do anything. And then if you start to feel like you can do anything, that's when those bigger ideas come into your brain, because you're allowing the space for that kind of vision to be received. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, you're like, I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I could do that. And then your mindset and your thinking is so small. It's really what Grant Cardone says about the 10x thinking. You can't have that 10x thinking if you're just by yourself and you haven't got that energy to bounce off.
100%. You've got to think big. That's what they say. You have to think big. But for a lot of people, it's hard for them to do that because they're so stuck in like what they're doing, the little things every day. And then that's why, like you said, like just going, joining groups, whatever it is, and then taking a few of the days to do that, to allow yourself that space and energy to think big. And then you'll go back even more energized and excited. So I love that. I think that's so amazing. And so we're at the end of the interview. And so these are some of the questions I ask everybody that comes on the show, and you just kind of answer rapid fire. So the first question is, what is the best decision that you've made in your, and I don't want to just focus on YouTube because you do so much more than just YouTube, but in your own personal brand, like Rebecca Louise Fitness. I don't know if that's the name of it, but your personal brand.
Best decision I've made is always trusting my gut. I think, honestly, I know it's like I can't really pinpoint as one thing in my life that has been like the best decision, but it's always trusting your gut, whether it's something to go for or something not to.
Has that something that you have worked on and gotten better at over time?
Yeah, I'm pretty impulsive and I don't procrastinate. So I feel like I just move very quickly. If I'm like, yeah, this feels right, let's do this. Or if it's like, nah, it's a yes. If it's not a hell yes, it's a no.
Awesome. If you were to start today on, say, your YouTube channel, or even on your personal brand, what would you be doing? What would you do differently?
I think I would have spent more time creating an email list. We have quite a big list, but just getting a better...
Are you able to say how many people are on your list?
Yeah, I got about 75,000 on the list, which is great, but really just utilizing the landing page for a free, sign up to get this level up guide and really just emphasizing that. So yeah, that's probably the thing that I would do.
When did you start building your email list?
I mean, it's like on and off. It's been like on and off all the time, but now there's actually a strategy behind it.
Got it. So you're really focusing on that right now, actually.
Yeah, because our new website that just came out a couple of weeks ago, maybe a week ago, the front page is the direct thing is to put your email address in.
It's optimized to collect emails. What is the biggest mistake you've made in your career so far?
Oh, mistake. I don't really like to say mistake. I've had a lot of learning curves.
Okay.
I've spent a lot of money in areas that haven't had the return, but I don't really think of that as a mistake. It's just a learning thing to say, that didn't work. Right, let me try something else. And not getting put off by spending some money somewhere and it not working. Because that's kind of happened to me. I've now got a little bit stingy with my money and been like, oh, I'm not going to try anything new because it's not going to work. I'm being a little bit skeptical. And now I'm like, oh my goodness, no, like you have to spend money to find experts that are going to be able to help you level up your brand. So I think that's the thing is don't let your mistakes or first time experiences of something put you off from doing it again.
Yeah, hold you back. I think that's a really good lesson because I've done that too where I've spent money on things and it didn't work out. And then you end up saying like, oh, I don't want to, but then you realize you have to let go of that. You have to move forward. It's the only way to move forward. What have been some of those little things that you've kind of paths you've gone down that you turned around and said, no, this isn't it?
I've spent a lot of money on PR companies and I just don't feel like I'm at a point where I need a PR company where the PR companies are very expensive. And I feel like that money would have been better spent on having a staff member, another team member, or a full-time like in-house videographer. And I think that's one of the biggest things that I would change is the PR.
What would you tell somebody listening, watching her on YouTube, who is maybe like 6 or 7 steps behind you, right? They have a channel on YouTube. They're uploading some videos. Maybe they're seeing some growth. Maybe they're not, but they're looking at you and they're like, oh my God, that's where I want to be. Like, what advice would you tell that person today who is doing the work, but they're just like not there?
And the only difference between me and somebody who's just started or 7 steps behind is I've been doing it longer. And that really is the only difference, is that I've been doing it longer. I've never missed a new video coming out on a Monday. So if you've got to be really consistent and you've got to know that you're in it till the end, and that just making that decision that you're not just testing or dipping your toes in the water, you're like all in. And when you make that decision, you're like, I'm all in, this is what I'm going to do. It will happen as long as you keep working on yourself. So a lot of personal development, listening and reading books about how to become the best version of you is going to really add more value to your audience. And then also find out what it is that your audience are looking for. Do a survey. I wish I'd done more surveys. What is it, create, the Survey Monkey thing and find out what it is that your audience want. And that's going to give you some direction of where you want to go.
Amazing. Okay. And what is the best opportunity you've received as a result of your YouTube channel?
Best one is probably being the face of a fitness brand that was in South Korea. It's a fitness brand called Le Coq Sportif. It's a huge fitness brand in Europe. It's one of the biggest fitness brands in the world. And I was able to be the face of their brand for 2 years. I got flown out, business class to South Korea. I was in Vogue, Allure, Cosmopolitan as the face of their brand. And that really was a massive highlight for my career. And I'm so glad that I held out on all of the small little videos or small brand deals because I held out, I was able to get that big job. No, it was the best moment.
Wow. Wow. That's amazing. Last question. What you kind of answered it earlier, but what is your YouTube superpower? What is it that comes very naturally to you that has contributed to your success on YouTube?
Yeah, I'm going to say, well, my book's coming out next year and it's called It Takes Grit. And it's what my podcast's called as well. And I really feel like it's the grit that I have inside of me to not give up and the resilience. And so I'm not the smartest person. I'm definitely not the most talented. I will outwork somebody else and I will not quit. And I think that really is my superpower is you don't have to be the most talented. You don't have to be the most knowledgeable. I don't have a degree. I don't have a degree. And so just having that grit and determination inside is what going to carry you forward. Because at the end of the day, even if you're the most talented person, if you don't have that hard work, and you don't have the passion for it, it's not going to work. So have that passion, the determination, and the grit inside. And I feel like that's what's really helped me get to where I am today.
Well, I love it. Thank you so, so, so much. For those of you, so if people listening and watching want to connect with you, they want to check out your stuff, where can they find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Facebook and Instagram. It's at Rebecca Louise Fitness. The YouTube channel is RL Healthy, or you can just put in Rebecca Louise. We give a free level up guide on the website. You can go to rebecca-louise.com. And then also for the app, we give away 7 days free trial. And you can go to icanfeeltheburn.com, or you can go to Burn by Rebecca Louise on Android or iOS and just check it out for free. It's amazing. Our community is just incredible. They're super powerful, super positive, and everyone fits right in.
Well, that's awesome. We will have all of those links in the description down below, in the blog post on the website, so that you can connect with Rebecca, check out her stuff and what she has going on. Thank you so much. This was awesome. Thank you for being on the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. I had so much fun with you.
Hey,
Thank
and
you.
for those of you watching, listening, comment below. Tell Rebecca, what did you get out of this interview? What did you get out of what Rebecca has done? I mean, Rebecca is building her own personal brand empire. She's got everything from her YouTube channel, her app, her podcast, the brand deals. I mean, a book deal, her tour. Was there anything that you listened to or heard that is maybe inspiring you to do something different, do something new? Comment below and let us know. Thank you so much, Rebecca.
You're so welcome.
Bye.
Loved it.